Go. That's correct. We are live. Welcome everybody in the chat, and welcome Ricky.
Thank you, mate.
Good to see you. Yeah, we were just saying before we are well prepared for this. I've even made notes. So yeah, strap in, everybody.
5 minutes ago.
Oh, notes is good. Notes is fantastic. Let me just mute this. I wasn't going to be. There we go.
Yeah. No, it's fantastic to have you on. I don't think we've ever chatted in this scenario, have we? I don't think so.
Yeah, once before. At the very beginning of my reselling journey, I think it was might have been Z's live stream where we all sort of jumped in together.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
It was very 4 years ago now. At least 4 years ago.
Mad how time flies. In case everybody viewing, I mean, people are coming in. We're up to 70. Hello, if you've just joined us. Do you want to quickly give us a hello? Who are you? What do you do? Sort of thing, if you don't mind.
Who are you? Where are you from? What was it the used to say?
Well, I mean, I don't know how long I've been around in the scene for now. I think I'm classed as young blood compared to you guys. I think. I'm classed as young blood. I think to you guys, but I resell stuff. I flip junk. I just turn whatever I can into a bit of extra profit. Pretty much what the same as the most of the community do. I don't have a niche. If it's got a bit of profit and I've got enough cash, I'll buy it. That is what I do. I try and make money from junk. Just
Love
like
that.
all of us.
Like you said, you've been on the kind of YouTube scene, if you want to call it a scene, for quite a while now. And I love the fact that you like to try and keep it real. There's no kind of flowering it up. There's no...
It ruffles a few feathers every now and then, though, unfortunately. Yeah. But I always try to refrain from that. But then I also... I'll ruffle them if I have to.
Yes. You try and stay out of it. And yes, I know what you're saying. So we thought, I said to you, can you think of a topic? And we couldn't really come up with anything. So we thought we'd just talk about the reality of this. You know, we were saying before we went live that we operate in a kind of weird and wacky little world of reselling.
Yeah, it's a bit odd, isn't it?
And the reality is not always, I think, what's necessarily portrayed or what people think it is. And we'll just touch on a few questions we have and see how we get on with that. So that's the plan. If you're up for it.
Absolutely, mate. Let's finger bang it.
We'll say a few hellos while people are coming in. We're up to 135 now. So welcome if you've just joined us. Scroll back up. Who was first in? Tina, welcome. Hi, Nick, Andrea, and Ricky.
I can't see the chat, by the way. So hello, chat. I appreciate you saying your hellos.
Leanne's with us. See Blaney. We'll just do a few quick hellos. Elaine. Lucy's car boot sale loot. Sounds good.
What, Luce?
There's Sean.
Hello, Sean.
Yeah,
and Andrea.
We saw Sean and Andrea today.
Andrea's watching as well.
What was it we were saying? They led us astray. We ended up at the pub. What a surprise.
Yeah, they were blaming you for 10 minutes before the stream, Sean.
Yeah. So yeah, welcome everybody.
You were saying you just had an epic nap.
Yeah. I'm 50. I'm allowed to have a nap. That's what I do. As Richard, I don't know if I should share this, but Richard shared an absolute banger he found at a boot sale today.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
It's probably okay to share.
That's teasing, that is.
Sorry?
That's teasing if you don't tell us.
Well, what it was a little point and click. I assume it's a 90s camera.
Oh, here we go.
And he showed completed up to $1,000. I can't even remember the brand. How you?
Yeah, we need to know what this is. We need to know what this is because I just got a bit of a flutter downstairs with that. I need to know what the camera is.
Richard, tell me if it's okay to share this picture you shared.
Yeah.
Come on, Richard. Bill Bailey. I've just seen the chat down here. A Bill Bailey is a very common one I get.
I've got to find it now. Where do I check? It's this one, is it? Do you ever get that thing where you're in too many little chats and you don't know who said what where?
It gets all scrambly wambly, doesn't it?
Oh, I'll tell you what, Richard, if it's okay to share it, can you let me know what that little camera was?
Oh, John Luke's in.
It'll be easier that way.
Hello, John.
So whilst
yes,
Richard,
you can share. Richard says.
Yeah, well, I can't remember where I saw it. That chat? Is it? Oh no, it's this chat, isn't it? Hang on. Bear with.
I have to look to the side to see the chat. I do apologise for the side profile.
Is it that one? No. Oh, this is going so well.
Oh dear.
I'm going to guess it's a Konica.
That sounds familiar.
Because you haven't said it's a Mew, so I can only go down
Well,
that road.
I've had that a few times.
Yeah.
You'll have to let us know in the chat there, Richard.
Let us know, Richard. We need to know. We're going cold turkey on you.
I'll leave that be. Right.
It's
so
in the lab, says Derek.
I thought that's where I just looked. That one.
There you go. Contact.
Oh,
Just-
contacts. Yeah, decent cameras. £1,000 though. Jesus, what?
Yeah, I'm not seeing the completed that you shared. Hang on.
Contacts. Let me
There
just.
it is. I found it now.
Oh my God. Contacts T2. Oh my God. I've just typed in contacts and done some solds, and oh my God.
Yeah.
My goodness.
I know. Sourcing goals. I mean, good Lord.
God, they gave him in. They gave you out little red velvet presentation boxes.
So it was an expensive one back in the day
Yeah.
by the sound of it.
Can I just very quickly reply to Jack here? Jack, I've just seen your message above saying that you replied to my email. I don't know what's going on because I haven't had that reply. So I don't know what's been blocked from either side of emails. If you're on Facebook or Instagram, that might be the better way to go about contacting us, because
Nothing in spam.
I don't have, well, we'll check later, but I did try to email him back this week, and he says he's replied, but
Long and short, Jack,
really
we're not
confused.
trying to avoid you. We're just
No.
trying to get some messages going here. But yes, we'll sort that out.
Yeah.
Live stream customer service. I love it.
I know. Okay, I'll do a vague sort of question for you, Ricky. Firstly, before we go into that, how long have you been full-time? Is it your full-time gig, and how long has that been for?
So yeah, full-time. Probably full-time for the last, since 2020, I went full-time because I was a barber before, and they kept shutting our shops because of what was going around at the time. So yeah, I decided to take the leap then, and there wasn't much else going on in the world. I thought, well, I haven't got much to lose apart from sourcing. Was weird because it was all marketplace. But yeah, full-time, and this is my about 4 years, and this is my full-time gig. So this is all I do.
So you're 4 years full-time, but you've been reselling part-time before that. So you're the perfect person to ask, is the reality as you have it now, is that what you would have thought before you jumped full-time?
No. I used to watch full-time reselling. Obviously, I was reselling before I was watching YouTube reselling. I didn't realise, because I was reselling before I went full-time. I didn't even know this community existed. So before I was full-time, I was reselling. Then I found this community before I went full-time. I was watching all the videos, and I was thinking, Jesus, this is a bit of all right, isn't it? Hey, be your own boss. Nobody tells you what to do. Get out of bed when you want. Do what you like. And unfortunately, it's a load of crap, because it's not that. Which is why I took a hiatus from making videos for a while when I first started this, and came back with the vision to just be more raw with it, and like let people realize there is going to be ups and downs, and it ain't a matter of doing what you like when you like, because that ain't an option. It's a small option. There is a part of that.
Yeah.
Hell of a lot more freedoms with it. But what I had going into this with, I wasn't completely deluded, but I had more of a, well, I can do what I want. As long as I've got things on eBay, I'll be all right. Nah, you got to keep working, don't you?
Yeah, I think there is a mental switch when you go full-time. It's like, oh, hang on, I actually have to make this work now. It's not.
Yeah.
And the reality of, oh, I had a really good day today. Well, who cares? You've got to do that tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly that.
And then the next day, and then next week. I think that was something. I mean, we've done it so long, it's hard to remember back. But the reality, when we both quit our jobs and did this, that I think we both had a little kind of squeaky bum moment of, oh, actually, no, this is it now.
Yeah. We don't if we don't do this seriously, we don't pay our bills.
But I think that evolves again later on. So once you find your footing as a, I still find the term quite cheesy, like full-time reseller. We're resellers. Obviously, it's a way to differ. Whatever. I'm moving off the track. But when you find your footing as a full-time reseller, that squeaky bum moment comes again when you get so used to not having a boss or a place of work which dictates everything to you.
Mm-hmm.
You then have that moment again because you're now used to this life where you go, okay, money's kind of okay, but fuck, what happens if it goes wrong and I have to have a boss again or have a 9 to 5? Not dissing the 9 to 5 jobs, but once you've done this for a while, it's like, I don't know if I could go back to doing anything else now. So that happens about a year or so later, maybe even less than a year for some people. But for me, I went from shit, now I've got to make this work, to okay, it's working. Shit, how do I stay here?
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah, you're right. You do reassess it as you go.
I will try and watch my language, by the way. I'm quite sweary, unfortunately. I will try.
Children out there, cover your ears. Thank you.
Yeah, sorry. I will try.
I mean, we both touched on social media. You said you didn't even know the community.
No.
We could get into that in a bit if you like, but you didn't even know that existed and stuff. So I'd love to know your opinion on social media and how that is depicted now. I mean, even social media in the time we've been on here, it's changed beyond recognition. But do you think we're all YouTubers here, right? Do you think we depict it correctly, or is it even possible to show how relentless and repetitive it is, all of that?
I think if you was to, again, I can only call back on my own experiences, what I used to put out and what I've also consumed. I think when I first got into this, when I opened an Instagram account, I was posting all the time, sales, returns, every time I went to a car boot, when I came back, what I was having for a snack in between that. I think if you did that, you could probably 60-70% actually portray what reselling is like. Never going to get 100% on that. Well, you probably could if you posted every single thing and went live every hour. But I think with the snapshots that we give, if anybody's watching the Instagram or the YouTube and stuff and trying to build a picture of what reselling is actually like, I don't feel like you could really give a full, true picture of what it is. I think there's a lot of reading between the lines. And almost guesswork of what's going on behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Was that the question you asked?
Yeah, pretty much.
I'll get lost.
It's funny because over the years I've been accused, if you want, of making it look too easy. I've been accused of moaning too much. I've been accused, no matter which way you go with it. It's like, and my response is, all I'm ever doing is sharing what's happening right now and what I think is interesting to talk about. And sometimes it's just me picking orders, which is dull as you like, but that's my reality today, right? And the other thing with YouTube is it's hard to fit it all in. It's hard to get inspiration for something. So you show something when it's interesting, or you show a sale when it's amazing and you're excited, right? So you always get a distorted version of my life.
Yeah, and
or
Mr.
anyone's
G,
life.
UK reseller there, says you can't post all the boring bits because no one would watch, and that is true. And I think that YouTube has evolved, even in the reselling community, so much now that people are looking for entertainment.
Yeah.
They are.
Entertainment, drama, sensationalism. That's come into YouTube since we started it.
People complain about all that in reselling, but just like every other genre, if you don't have a hook, something to deliver, and something to maintain audience retention, we're talking YouTube studio gibberish now, but keeping the audience watching, then we can't make the videos because it becomes almost unviable. You don't need to lie and cheat and scam your videos, but we do need to have that entertainment hook factor. Yeah. And in reselling, it's quite hard to find like a really catchy hook. And when you watch a video, when you're editing a video, you go, well, how can I get a hook here? And sometimes it's got to be the most weirdest thing, but it works. As long as you're not lying, it doesn't matter, does it? But people do complain, like you say, they complain and say, you make it look too easy, or you're clickbaiting, or you're doing all this. You have to, it's YouTube. That's what happens. If you don't have that, you
get a lot of people that really love watching you picking and packing, and then there's a lot of people that complain that it's not very interesting, and it's samey, and you do the same thing every week.
Right.
Right.
Oh, I tell you, the God forbid thing is me talking about anything but, because then it's like, well, no, Nick, you're a reseller. That's what I'm here for. Stop talking about your life or anything else. Yeah, that's something.
And yet there is a huge amount of people that are interested in our lives.
Yeah.
So to sum it up, you can't please everybody.
You can't. No.
But
and reselling has a low ceiling when it comes to audience as well. I mean, you're quite. I'd say you're probably the biggest in the UK, maybe.
I don't know. We're
in terms of subscriptions. I mean, you've got to be
Well,
up there. But my point is, I think you
in subscription numbers, yes, and you were certainly the first 10 years.
Oh yeah, you definitely got that legacy.
In terms of views these days,
probably not in terms of views. Yeah. But I was going to say, I've definitely seen it evolve, and the videos are slicker. People are putting more effort in, because when there was just myself, Tom, and Zahir, just talking about eBay, having eBay in the title, and just talking about reselling was enough to gain you an audience, because there were so few of us out there. There was so little choice. This prat talking about buying and selling was enough. And I feel there is a pressure now to be entertaining, to be something, to I don't know, and I don't like that, but I do sometimes feel that pressure.
Yeah,
which is tough. I can see why. Yeah, all I'm supposed to be doing is documenting what I do and how I do it, so I need to remind myself of that.
And that's the best thing to do. Just keep reminding yourself.
Yeah.
This segues into another question that you've got. Metro B says, I don't call myself a reseller. If people ask, I tell them I'm in acquisitions and arbitrage. Makes Sunday roasts and Christmas dinners easier to get through if family and friends ask. So that segues into your question about what other people think about what you do.
Well, I was going to ask, to get into that side of it, does your partner resell with you at all, or is that very clearly defined? This is what you do, and you.
Yeah, no, she doesn't, but she wants to.
Oh,
so we've worked out a kind of plan where we can start etching, because she's a school teacher.
Oh, right.
So I've been teaching her little things over the last few years, and I've got a little plan on my iPad of what I want her to do in order to knock off one day, and then we'll go from there. So she wants to do it for the freedom away from the 9 to 5, not necessarily for anything else. She probably doesn't care about turning £5 into 40. As long as it keeps her off work for a day or two, then she'll be happy.
Do you think that she knows enough about it that she understands the reality of it?
Yeah, she's seen it. She understands.
Yeah. Okay, that's cool. Yeah. But then friends and family, do you have those awkward conversations trying to explain what the hell it is you do?
No, I just say I'll resell on eBay, or I'll resell wherever I can. Basically, throughout my whole life, I've always bought and sold things. Right. Sometimes it was illegal when I was younger. I probably would have been your best customer when you were still a police officer. But I've always been involved in something. If I ever wanted anything, I had to get it myself, basically.
Hang on, I think we've met before.
Not from your ways, my friend. But I've always been sort of self-sufficient and had to go out there, even as a youngster. And if I need something, I have to go and get it. Friday free ads was one of my favourite ones. We're talking legal side now. I've always been flipping. So a lot of my friends and family, they've always known that I've been this way, and without even knowing that this was a career option, this was always the obvious choice. So whenever anybody asks about it, they just know. So I don't really have that awkwardness of trying to explain it all. But with other people, some people don't know. If strangers or meet, they talk and it comes up. Yeah, I just say I buy and sell things on eBay. I don't get into. Sometimes I have Instagram sales. Sometimes I do whatnot. Sometimes I do car boots. I just say buy and sell on eBay.
Yeah.
It's interesting because that conversation, we've been full-time on eBay and other things for over 20 years now. In the early days, I couldn't say I'm a reseller on eBay because most people hadn't heard of eBay. Yeah. So that conversation's evolved.
Yeah, that's it. Well, you probably would have had to say, have you ever seen Only Fools and Horses? Just to give you a reference.
Yes. So I was going to touch on just quick. It's kind of related. Why do YouTube, and what got you into that? And do you get questions? How do you answer the questions about YouTube? What do you do on YouTube, and why do YouTube?
I think you've asked me this because you know for a fact you would have been the first one of the people I would have seen on YouTube, all right? So yeah, of course it was you, George, and there was a guy who's finished now called Undercover Arbitrage, lovely bloke.
Yeah, we met him a few times.
I can't remember his name now. I emailed him about something a little while ago.
Gavin.
Yeah, Gavin. But you were the UK ones. But before that, I was watching. What's his name? ThriftHeavenVintage.com. What's his name? Anyway, so I was watching them all, thinking you're all doing what I'm doing, and I feel like I've got my side to show. Not that I had anything. Not like I felt I had anything important to say. Especially if you look at my older videos, it was just me doing what you guys are doing. But I thought I enjoy watching. I wonder if I'd enjoy creating. About 7 years prior to me doing the YouTubes, I had a fitness YouTube channel. It sounds cringy as hell, and it was cringy as hell. But I used to upload videos of like daily routines and stuff for me in the gym. So I did it before that, just not in this kind of niche or market, should we say? So when I refound a niche that I was watching every single night. I was looking to see when you lot had all uploaded your latest videos. I was watching them all back. I thought, I'm going to do it. And I just did it. So that's why.
Yeah, I think all of us YouTubers must have some sort of need to create or put ourselves out there in some way. I can never quite put my finger on it, but it scratches my creative itch a bit.
Yeah, there you go. The creative stuff. I used to really enjoy doing the fitness stuff, even though it was cringy. I used to enjoy the creative stuff. I'd put a camera up near my bed and pretend to wake up out of bed and stuff. So I was silly stuff. But I really enjoyed the creativity of it. And I didn't do it for like 7 years before that, before I started reselling. So when I found it again, I thought, yeah, it gives you that creativity spark again, only junk and muddy fields.
So is that essentially what you still get out of YouTube? Because we get it leveled at us. Why do you share what you do on the internet? Surely you're ruining it for yourself and everybody else. I mean,
silly comments. Silly.
Yeah,
they're silly. I do it because I've now built a community to a point where if I didn't do it, I'd feel like I was leaving a community. Now, some days I have the days where I do just want to leave the community behind, but I have that with my family, with my friends. I want to leave. I want to be on my own, just whatever. Sometimes I have that. But inside of YouTube, now I've built this community up around Ricky Resells, whatever this, it's a small community, but it is a community. I've got friends in it. I've got frequent visitors. I've got frequent commenters. I've got people that I've met, people that I've become really friendly with. Mm-hmm. If I was to stop now, it would be because I've really had to for my mental health for whatever reason. So other than that, I can't see myself going anywhere. And that's just why I continue, because now it's like normality. Does that make sense? Like YouTube and social media is now just a part of my life.
Yeah, I think you described it really well, and I completely empathise with that. I find it hard to imagine not doing YouTube anymore. It's because it would leave a massive hole in our lives, socially, if nothing else, right?
Yeah. Really I don't have any friends outside of this. I've got a couple, but literally very small.
Yeah. I've realised we've really neglected the chat.
I just wanted to highlight quickly.
Yeah, let's read a bit of the chat for
like Paul here says, does anyone else think I'll just get X, Y, and Z done before I have my breakfast? And then I realise it's 3:30. Pretty much.
Not had breakfast.
Once I've Treasure says, YouTube videos don't show the messages on eBay 5 minutes after you've gone to bed that you have to check just in case it's a return or a potential sale. Then you lie awake waiting for a follow-up. Yep, that's what we were saying today, isn't it? It's 7 days a week, 24/7. Even when
it is hard. We don't have an off button, and eBay so it can be problematic.
Tamara says that she enjoys the picking orders. They keep her company listing.
Yeah, see, for every Tamara, you're going to get one person that doesn't like it. Like you can't please everyone. So just I just do what I do now. I'm really not bothered about pleasing anybody.
Yeah.
So I keep saying.
It took me far too long to realise that. That was a lesson. I don't know why that was hard for me to learn. I think I am, in some ways, still wanting to please people, which is a nice thing, but it doesn't work. So why bother? Particularly with social media, because you end up.
Oh, you try and please everyone on here. You'd have an anxiety attack every day.
Exactly that. Yeah.
You can't.
Yeah.
Mr. Smith says, I defo got lured into reselling by the I can do what I want. Year and a half after going full time, and totally agree. It's a constant roller coaster, but wouldn't change it for anything. Love it.
Yeah.
Ken gets annoyed with the clickbait titles.
Yeah, I mean, there is clickbait, and then there's I've got this rule, and it's not clickbait if you deliver.
Yeah.
That makes sense. So if I find a rare ring and I put in there mega super rare ring, never to be found again, and then you go into the video, people are expecting mega money. But if this ring just happens to be a plastic ring from a Kellogg cereal, which you've never, this is not, I'm just making this up, by the way, but if it happens to be a plastic cereal from a Kellogg's box and it's not worth anything, people get pissed off with that. But actually, the truth is the truth. It's a mega rare thing. It's probably only one ever made, for example. It's worth nothing, but it's still mega rare, mate. You know?
Yeah.
Well,
there's a fine line.
I've certainly noticed if I just put picking orders on a Monday, right, that video will go blah, 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 and do whatever. But if I said amazing sales this weekend, let's pick orders, that will do twice as well. It's just as simple as that.
And that is it.
Lure in, because there's so much, even in our tiny little part of the internet, there's so much competition now for people's attention.
Huge.
Do you actually have to work at grabbing that attention?
Well, the video is the gift. And you've got to pack it correctly with the title and the thumbnail to make people want to open it and stay and enjoy the gift.
Wow.
And if you don't package it correctly, if you go to if there's a big pile of presents under the Christmas tree and you got one wrapped in newspaper, one wrapped in sparkly gold, flashing, amazing paper, what's the first one you're going to go to? You don't know what's in it, but what's the first one you're going to open? The gold one.
Oh, yeah.
And that's, well, most people would. And that's what your title and your thumbnail. It's your wrapping paper.
Yeah,
I never looked at it that way.
that's good. That'll stay with you, won't it? That'll stay with you. That one.
Store says, I'm not looking for anything spectacular with reselling, just stuff I can identify with and relate to.
I love Store. I love watching his Instagram. Some fantastic pictures.
Yeah, we've got to know Stephen. He's a lovely guy as well.
Steve, that's it. Yeah, Steve. Can't remember his name for a second.
Yep. And it's good to see Vinny, by the way. Hi, Vinny. I haven't spoken to you for ages. Hope you're doing well. Have you ever been down to Vinny's shop?
No, never. I'm going to go there one day, but it's a long drive for me. It'd be one of those. Well, if I'm that way, I'll pop in.
Yeah, we were on holiday down there, so we had to go and see. We had to go visit.
Lainey says, I love watching because it's something I can't do. It's cool to see what you get, etc. But if I'm honest, if it goes into the serious ins and outs, I kind of zone out because I don't need to know it.
Yeah, well, that's fair though.
Yeah,
it surprises me how many people watch us and follow us and have got into what we do who have no interest in reselling, but they find it interesting, a little like insight into another way of life, another world. But a lot of our viewers don't resell at all.
But isn't that what YouTube's for? I don't think I watch people going snorkeling with metal detectors under a riverbed. I'm never going to do that. Well, I'd love to, but I'll watch all sorts of stuff because I'm interested. Aquatigger,
do you watch him?
Is that most likely? There's a good few that I follow. All the magnet fishers, all the river fishers. They find the phones. Oh, it's fantastic. But I'll never do it. I still enjoy it.
Yeah. Chris G's got a quick question. Wife listed an unbranded tote bag. eBay then did a listing removed for violating counterfeit item policy. This is still on unsolds after 2 months. Any way to get it removed?
PC. Just go to the PC and do it. That's every time it happens to me. You can't do it on your phone. You have to go to your PC and remove it. I've had 3 violations on like weapons and gas masks with asbestos and stuff, and it stays on your phone. I can't get rid of it on my phone. On my PC, just click, remove, done.
There you go.
So it's an app issue.
It's an app thing, yeah.
Oh, there you go. I love to do the channel, but I literally have no time to do it now. Way too busy.
Yeah, I mean, I know this is kind of off topic. This is more the reality of YouTube, but I think until you try YouTube yourself, you have no idea how much time it can be a time sink. Yeah, that's a big one.
That's a good point, actually. If you work for yourself, there is no reason to have an off button.
Disagree, Vinny. I understand the point he's trying to make, but I disagree.
Yeah.
I think you need to, otherwise, you need to recharge a little bit sometimes.
Have to.
Yeah, otherwise you just burn out.
You burn out.
Yeah.
Vinny, I'm shutting you down. All right.
So
are you going to go into
go for it.
because we were talking about social media.
Yeah.
So we were going to talk about how important do you think that social media is as a marketing tool if you're self-employed?
Ooh. Do you use it as a marketing tool?
Yeah, definitely. But I use it a lot for communication as well, because I get to interact. So what I found with Instagram was, and again, I can only speak from my perspective, is you build a community on there of YouTube subscribers who can talk to you when you haven't got a YouTube video on. So they know who you are from YouTube. They come to your Instagram to find you, and you can chat and talk, whatever else, and you can do deals and whatever else you want to do on there. They might find something. Oh yeah, send me a message on Instagram. That's quite important, because you can't always catch the comments. You don't really want to wheeling and dealing in the YouTube comments either. And you can let people know when there's a video about to drop, or all those types of things. So I think it's great for marketing. But yeah, definitely use it for that. But I also use it as like a massive WhatsApp for me as well. I've got my DMs are constantly going. I get told off all the time by people for saying you've read it and not responded.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I clicked it and now it's swamped, I'm afraid. It's definitely good for marketing.
Yes, that's interesting. We've certainly, it was a part of what is now our day-to-day, which is selling through Instagram, selling through YouTube, that I never expected. I never saw that coming, that our subscribers want to really actively want to support what we do. I never saw that coming, and we love that. The fact that our community wants to just support it and support us is phenomenal.
Yeah, I think for me it's definitely a mix. It's a mix of social and also marketing. As you know, I don't even like to be as rigid as to say it's marketing, but in some ways
it is marketing. Yeah, it is though.
I
think
a lot of marketing these days is about showing who you are and being real and letting people see who the person is behind the product. And
yeah, I think marketing makes it sound like it's very thought out and it's very, business. A lot of it's accidental, isn't it? You show something somebody's keen on and they contact you through Insta and buy it. That's as simple as it is.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, when it comes to sales and stuff, I get what you're saying there. There was a lot of, I've seen that. Let's jump out. Let's go speak to Nick and see if he's still got that.
Yeah. But I've definitely got to know people, because people message us on Instagram, and I've got to know people through that and become quite good friends with people through Instagram.
100%.
That are in
I've been to weddings and all sorts through this community. It's been fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So going back to realities of what we do it day in, day out, is there an aspect of the job that you actively enjoy? Is there an aspect of the job that you actively dislike, and what would they be?
Cool, blimey. I think because I've always struggled for space, packing is a nightmare for me. Unless it's small items, stick it in an envelope, stick it in a small green eBay box, I'm happy. When it comes to franking boxing and doing all this kind of stuff, that I dread it. I get it done, but when I know I've got that waiting for me in the garage or in the unit, wherever I go, I can't tell you the effect it has on my morning, knowing that that's what I've got. If I've sold a lamp or something, or I don't know, a vacuum cleaner, I'm like, fucking hell. Like, but if I know I've got 100 orders of, I don't know, Pokemon cards or little key rings or something, I don't know, whatever, I'm like, sound.
Yeah.
So when it comes to packing awkward stuff, bulky, horrible items, that is the only thing in reselling as a physical part of my job, genuinely, that I don't like. And that's the truth. Packing crappy, heavy, horrible items.
So if there is a favorite element of what we do, is it the sourcing? That's a common answer, is it not?
Not necessarily. I'm gonna sound very bubbly and fluffy now, but it's the freedom that it gives me. That's my favorite part about the reselling. Unless you're talking about physical jobs, are you sticking on physical jobs and stuff?
It's fine. You can answer it however you like.
Just the freedom. I had my daughter at the same time that I went full time, and I've been able to be there, bring her up, being in her life a lot more than a 9-to-5 dad would. I haven't had to palm her off to what are they called, nannies, what are they called, like babe care babysitters, whatever they're called. I've done it, and her mother did a bit as well. Bless her heart. So I've been very blessed to be able to be involved. As much as I want them to go away all the time, the group chat, I'll tell you, I'm just like, leave me alone. I've been very blessed with that, and obviously the freedom I get with it as well. So my answer to that would be my favourite part of the reselling and this job is the freedom you get, as long as you don't abuse it, because you will fall behind.
Yeah, I meant to say earlier when we touched on you can do what you want. I think you said it. Now I'm full time. I can do what I want, and that's the double-edged sword that I still battle with on a daily basis. My time is mine to use productively or not. It's a choice.
Yeah,
I have this every day, and I'm still not disciplined. I still, So
are you setting too high goals for yourself though? Like, are you telling yourself I must go and do my postage, then 20 photos, then 20 listings, and if you don't do that, you feel annoyed with yourself?
No, I'm always running to catch up with myself. I'm always trying to get the post out before the last minute. Yeah, it's terrible. I use the freedom badly, but it is one of the biggest positives of what we do. Yeah. That similar to yourself, we had our daughter pretty much the exact time we both quit our jobs, and that was tough in some ways.
I started reselling when I was on maternity leave.
Yeah, you literally left to have Ellen. Yeah. And
the thing is, people don't. I've just put in there. I do apologise.
Right.
with these phones, you wait until it goes silent a little bit, and then you think, "Is that the end?" Yeah. I've done all right so far.
Yeah.
But I think having a baby is what I was going to say to you. I think touching on what you just said, having a baby while you're running a full-time reselling business, that has a pressure effect on you as well, because you can't do as much as I see people like. I'm not going to name drop anybody, but people who don't have kids, especially young babies to toddlers, I see what they're doing, and I think make the most of that while you don't have children, because when you have babies, especially babies to toddlers, I think when Ada's getting older now, so she's getting a little bit more easy. I can't wait until she's older, not wishing her life away.
Yep.
When you have the babies, like I said, when you started and you guys went full time and you had your daughter, you must have realised that there wasn't as much you could do as a reseller than you could if you didn't have the responsibility of your daughter, or not. Maybe you had it different to me.
I just remember you just make it work around your kids. I remember going to boot sales with a great big buggy and stuffing stuff under it. It was a buggy stroke.
Yeah.
I missed that when she wasn't in it anymore, because we had to carry stuff.
And I remember, incorporating taking her out for a walk with doing the post, and all those little things. And they're the happiest memories we both have of reselling.
With her.
Yeah.
Oh, fair play. I found it so stressful.
we dragged her around charity shops, and that was her life, right?
I do that with her, yeah.
She thinks it's totally normal. When we first started and we just had Ellen, we were in a rented 2 up, 2 down tiny house full of crap. That was her reality. And it has been for her whole life that mum and dad have crap everywhere.
That was honestly the happiest time of my life. I think, when she was that small and we were doing all that with her.
You've done well then. Ada thinks charity shops are called toy shops.
Yeah. Yeah, don't let Ellen see this, because we'll never be able to sell it. That's it. Yeah. I'm going to dip back in the chat again.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that Vinny has corrected his comment here. The great thing about working for yourself is you don't need an off button, because you can deal with things when you want.
Okay, fine.
I got you.
But,
I can imagine Vinny being on the go all the time.
I'm coming back here.
What are you looking for?
No, I don't know.
There was a few people saying that a lot of YouTube is you have to have the personality so people stick with you. Okay. And there is an element of that. I have no idea why people watch myself, but I can see, I enjoy watching your videos, and there's other channels that I just won't watch because I don't engage. So there has to be an element of personality in it. Because if it was just, I've bought this and I'm going to sell it for £2 next, and then,
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think
you have to have a little bit of something when you're doing YouTube. Not always.
So I'm talking about social media. Store says social media has given me an insight into things that people buy and things that people sell that I'd never have had a clue about.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah. My Arsenal's grown massively from social media. Arsenal, by the way, has grown massively from social media. Yeah.
Yeah. And Jack says, I'm loving finding, even with my channel of 1K subs, the amount of people coming to me to sell items to me in my niche.
There you go.
Discs and gaming, doesn't he? So
yeah, just the act of putting yourself out there opens doors that you won't expect. And we find that still on a regular basis. I mean, just recently we had major shenanigans. I don't know if you kept up with eBay.
Yeah, I was watching them.
And because we documented it very, very bluntly and told eBay what was going on and how crap they were being, it's opened doors within eBay to speak to people at the highest level. And that blows my mind. Only positive things have come out of that.
You did it.
And it's just about putting yourself out there, having the nerve to be honest and open and just saying, this is what it's like. And still open doors.
Yeah, Master of Pieces says, as a part-timer, social media is massive for me. It keeps me accountable to keep doing eBay. No eBay, no videos.
We can't have no Ian videos. We can't have that.
Yeah.
Oh, Tina's loving the Bieber cups.
Yeah,
They're
great
gorgeous,
content.
Georgie says, I like doing YouTube, but the editing is such a time suck. The editing part for me is the part I enjoy the most.
It's fun because you can let your personality come through in the edit. But today's video that I put out, that took me just under 3 hours to edit, and it's a 51-minute long video. 3 hours non-stop. If you stop, sometimes I'll take a little break. People don't realise that 50. Sometimes even not the 20-minute videos can take an hour, hour and a half, sometimes 2 hours to edit. If it's loads of cuts, mine are lots and lots of cuts.
Mm-hmm.
But that 20 minutes, it's cost me the time to film it and the 2-3 hours to edit it. People don't see the side of it, do they? You guys see the side of that. It's nice to Andrea that you actually enjoy it because that takes a lot of the hard work out of it.
Yeah, absolutely. But I've got a degree in photography and video and film. So
it scratches that.
I never thought this is how I'd be using it, but you know.
And I think that's a big reason why my videos for a long time, and they still are often just me showing stuff in the shed, because it can be one long ramble with maybe just 2 or 3 edits, and that's a 15-minute video.
Fantastic. So the dream.
Just get content out. You know, it's like yourself when you go live. That's an easy way to make a video.
Yeah, so easy.
And then it's just public and done. It's brilliant.
Yeah, so easy, man. I haven't done one for a couple of weeks. I need to do one now.
Yeah. I wanted to touch on.
Hello, the monocle's in. I'm sure I've seen that hairy guy in a field.
Yeah. Hello, mate.
Have you met Craig then?
This was
he's local to me. Relatively local.
Yeah, we've met him a couple of times. Lovely guy.
This was the one I was trying to find, but Cliff has kindly reposted it. If I could stop procrastinating all the time, I would probably get a lot more done. I've been working for myself for over 23 years now, would never go back to working for someone. So
Cliff's a great example.
What you were talking about, procrastinating.
Well, Cliff's a great example of meeting somebody through putting yourself out there, and then they become a friend that's in your life. You know, you talk to regularly. He's been up here to visit, and we're hopefully going to go and visit him. And that's a huge thing that YouTube's given us is, you know, people who we can relate to, because they do what we do.
Store says, Andrea edits the videos. Did you not think I did?
What's he on about that?
I don't know if he's teasing.
I was going to touch on getting back to the realities of reselling. I wanted to ask you specifically, what's the reality of doing, because you had a huge consignment deal going on. I think it still is going on. How did that come about, and would you do that again? Because we have quite strong views on that. We've tried it. So how's that going?
Well, I need to try and simplify this answer because it can either be very, very long or it can be very, very confusing. So I'll try and make it short and manageable. A friend of mine does it, basically, and does very, very well from it. And he had an opportunity for me to get on board in the same company, the same people. So I took that opportunity. It's a long drive. 120-mile round trip. But it eliminates all of that I need to go sourcing part of your job. It eliminates it. And you still get the buzz because you don't always know what you're going to get. So you still get the buzz of, oh my God, this is cool. Oh, this is cool. But you don't have to think every single day, well, I've got a few hours. Can I go to a charity shop? Right, is the car boot going to be on this Sunday? Is this going to be, the weather's shit off? It eliminates that. So there's a pro and a con, because some people might like doing all those things. I do like doing them, but I'd rather know that I'm getting stock. So you get your stock consistently if you find the right contact.
Mm-hmm.
Majority of it's good stock. Sometimes it's going to be crap and go to the car boot sale. Recently, it's been getting worse and worse. Profitability, you're not as profitable as you was before you did consignment, personally. Well, you're not. There's no personally about it. I give away after fees. So I'm quite lucky that after fees, I give away 50% of the profit. So I could do 100 grand a year, which means I have to be VAT registered. But in actual fact, I've given away half of that before I've even taken any profits and paid any tax on that as well.
Yeah.
So that's the downside to it. Luckily, I breezed, because I'm not sure if you've seen any recent videos of mine, but my consignment is now ending. I'm now dwindling it off their stock.
Yeah.
So once that's gone, I don't have to pay them anymore. And then I'm away from that side of it before I even hit the 85K, which was lucky. I'm not a big seller. I'd say I pay my bills. And I was worried about hitting the 85K bracket as a consignment seller simply because I'd be liable for that, even though I'm not profitable.
Yep.
50% is gone.
It's turnover, isn't it? So, yeah. Yeah.
So I'm very grateful and lucky that the deal was ending before I've hit the bracket, so I don't have to be liable for that without having the what's the word? Without having the profits basically to myself. Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? So I'm liable for it. So when you're in consignment, you're liable for it if you get to that stage without the profit. So sourcing stock, fantastic, because you've always got stock. Profitability, you're not profitable anymore. You can make money. When I use the term profitability, it's the last 2 minutes I've just spoke about. And you better have some space depending on what and how you do it. Would I do it again once it ends? Majority of my answer would be no. Mm-hmm. If I ever did it again, it was the same situation where it was constant stock and they said, which is never going to happen, so the answer is probably no. And they said, here's a massive warehouse, get in there, let's go hell for leather, then I'll do it again. As it is now, no. I'm looking forward to going back to normality. I've still probably got a couple of months worth of their stock left. I'm now sourcing again. I'm back in the charity shops saying, hello, where have you been, stranger? I'm now getting back into the routine. Yeah.
I think in one of your videos, you said it felt like you were working for someone again.
Yeah, I felt like I had a boss, basically, yeah. And that's how I felt. To begin with, one of the people that I used to do it for or with is in this chat now. But I felt like if I didn't list a certain amount a week, it was all eyeballs on the thing. Like, oh, what are you doing then? What's going on? Whereas before, it was never that. It was never, ever that. It was always just crack on, do what you like, mate. Yeah, no worries. But then a few little comments came and stuff, and I was like, it just feels like I've got a boss. And then they told me that their contract was changing, and I've only got a few more months left to go. And I was going, oh, that's so sad. Do you know what I mean? Like, I was happy because I don't like having a boss. I'm not here for a boss.
Yeah. Well, we've never done it on anywhere near that sort of scale. We've just done bits and bobs for people. Would you take all of this on and sell it for me? And
not like that.
I always found that stressful because their expectation was always perhaps more than it should be.
Yes, exactly that. Yeah.
It was a pain paperwork wise to keep up with, and when you're doing your own stuff and consignment stuff, you're keeping records. I'm terrible at that anyway, so that just added to the stress. So I tend to keep it at arm's length. We very rarely do. Maybe the odd thing we'll sell for somebody. And then what we would do is sell it, and then we will invoice them.
Yes.
For,
Yeah, so we've sort of
for their percentage.
And then we took all the stuff in for a neighbour, didn't we? But we actually told him we're going to buy it from you.
Yeah.
Because
when we came here, again, talking about what you do opens doors, we were chatting with somebody who lives really local, and he had a shed full of stuff or garage full of stuff, you know what it's like. Can you sell all of this for me? You know, I'll take X percentage. And I was like, no, I'll buy it off you.
Yeah. Sometimes if you can get that question in and they say yes, even better. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what we ended up doing. It worked out fine for both of us. He got, you know, X amount of hundreds of pounds for crap he wanted out of his garage, and we did okay. So yeah.
But I have when this fully ends and I'm back to, I keep saying this to my friends, like normal reselling as such, I've learned a hell of a lot that I would never have learned if I didn't take on this consignment way of doing things. I've learned so much, even about my own work ethic and the work that needs to be done and all these different things I've learned. So no matter what happens, I've got knowledge, and knowledge is worth way more than cash, isn't it? Knowledge is what's going to give you cash.
100%. Yeah. I bet you've dealt with stuff you would have never picked up.
Mate, some of them things, it's like I would never have picked it up, never have known about it, or in fact, some of the things I picked up and saw that were worth loads of money. I remember immediately your head goes, I know you've seen that before, and you left it behind because you didn't think it was worth anything.
Yeah.
And like glassware and mega end hi-fis and stuff, even though not hi-fis, like mega end electricals and stuff that I would never even looked at before. Like car stuff, I don't know, like diagnostic machines and things. I'm like, fucking hell, there's loads of money in there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And these things have been forced on me, so I've had no option other than to learn about it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've learned about some cool things to sell, definitely.
I find that if I end up with a job lot of random, I always find a couple of bangers in there that I would have completely dismissed.
And it stays in here, doesn't it?
And then you add it to your little roster of stuff.
And then you'd never find it again.
No. Do you want to read that out?
No, I just to keep that up as a question. Stacey's got, do you have a daily routine, or do you see how you feel each day and go with the flow? So go with the flow or set routine.
I have like my must-dos. When I get to my, I work in a unit now, so when I get to my unit, I must do the postage first because I've learned if I don't, I'll list. And when it gets into the day, I don't want to do the postage, but I have to do it still. Fundamentals, there we go. So I've got fundamentals, which I do sometimes stray from, but the majority of the time it is a see how you feel kind of day after the fundamentals have done. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it's like a weird bit of both kind of.
Yeah. I think we operate in a similar. I mean, I do all the packaging in our business, and that's always what I go to first because I don't know how long it's going to take me. Andrea might come out with a tea set and go, here you go. So I get all of that done, and then with whatever time I've got left and however far into the evening that may spread is when I try and get the nuts and bolts done, the listing and the stuff that I struggle to find motivation to do. But postage is always first for me.
Yeah, well, I deal with all the admin. So I do all the admin first, get that out of the way, make sure that reply to everybody. And then
I find listing so easy. I find that the easiest part.
Do you? That's unusual.
The quickest and the easiest part, yeah. Taking the photographs, once you've got everything tested or ready to go, it's easy. So taking that part of it, actually doing the listing, once you've got all your photos, sit there, put some on YouTube, my laptop up, get them all listed. Easy peasy. Best part, easiest part of the job.
Well, what it is, who's barking? Is that Jeff barking?
No, it's not Jeff.
Oh, it's the dog next door. I find, I've got to be honest, I find getting going difficult. Once I'm into it, once I'm into my flow state of listing, I'm like a wizard with it, right?
Yeah.
And then you can't stop me, but
I
starting.
actually really enjoy listing because I get to do the research and all of that business.
Yeah.
Oh, I've still got to do one or two before I want to do it. I know I've got I can't sit there and go, right, let's get listing. It takes me one or two, but I still find it the most easiest thing and the most less hassle thing to do. Because I take all my pictures on my phone and then I airdrop it all to my MacBook when I get in. I've got separate folders like box A, box B, box C, depending what the day is. I'll stick it all in that folder. And if I don't know what it is, I'll just use Google Images on the web page, which I'll always find out what the item is, always. So the research is so easy. So listing for me is probably the easiest and the most stress-free thing to do.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think a lot of it is mental. It's a mental battle. I think it's more of a pain in the neck than it is because, like I just said, get going. I can get into a flow and just knock them out, and it's great. But, yeah. Right, how are we doing for time? Blimey, we've been chatting for 55 minutes already.
Easy
Isn't that
peasy.
mad? So I was going to say this comes up a lot in chat in these sort of chats, but I think it is a valid question. What if you could go back?
Turn off your
Can we turn off notifications?
I don't want to touch anything in case I turn us off. Oh, there we go.
Don't close that window.
Done that before.
Oh, Tommy tanking. Go on.
If you could go back to, so you said you roughly 4 years you've been full time. If you could go back, what would you tell yourself going into it, or what would you do differently? Is there anything you would do differently?
Just the reselling, or the reselling YouTube, the social media thing, or just
touch on both. I mean, if you were saying to somebody who's thinking, I would love to do reselling full time, or I'd love to jump into YouTube, have you got any advice? What would you tell them?
Just relax. Just take a deep breath. Forget about everything you know, and you're just going to learn a whole new life, and just go with it. Just enjoy it. There's going to be stress. There's going to be trials and tribulations. There's going to be ups and downs, but just, this is you now, mate. Just just go with it. Just relax, basically.
Yeah.
You sound like you hypnotize me right now. I'm off.
And this is where we go.
Right. Well, you heard it here.
I just feel like this genre, this job, this way of life, I'm including YouTube now, can really spark a lot of things in. Again, it's all personal, but maybe a lot of people are the same. Can really spark a lot of different emotions in their head. And my first reaction to negative YouTube comments was, "Oh, fucking, let's go there. Let's have a fight in the YouTube comments or on Instagram." Now it's just, unless something really crosses a line, and now I'm just like, don't care, I'll just breathe, whatever, mate. Yeah, cool. And the same with like eBay, when people say, well, your price is this, and they send you messages saying it's not on time, or you could have done. When I first started, it was, I can go elsewhere then. Go to Amazon, mate. What are you on eBay for? Now I'm just like, block. if they haven't made a sale, just relax into it, basically. Just take your time with it. There's going to be idiots, and but there's also going to be a lot of nice customers, nice subscribers, nice people. Just go with it.
It is funny. Something I'm not in the Facebook groups and stuff anymore.
I've left them all.
Yeah, but you used to spot a newbie from a mile off because they're stressing the hell out of a return.
Yeah.
We've been in this game long enough to just be like, oh, that's coming back, and then gone out of the mind, right?
Yeah.
Move on with your day. It's coming back. You can't do anything about it, and you'll just sell it again. So deal with it. But seeing people getting so het up and taking it so seriously,
and personally as well, though.
Yeah,
we've all done it. Some of us probably still do it.
Yeah. Well, the YouTube comments was harder for me to learn, and to just walk off a duck's back thing. And still, sometimes there are trigger points. People can trigger me still, but it's a lot harder. You can testify to this. But in the early days, I would take all of that personally and try and answer every comment and have no.
Yeah, you can get like that. Like you say, it's a learning curve. Now you said it doesn't trigger you as much. I've now learned that if something does trigger me, because some things still do, I'm not going to tell anyone what it is. I don't want to give any tips so you can learn it on the next YouTube video and try and trigger me. I'll have the trigger not on the keyboard. I won't reply. I won't reply with a trigger. I'll just be like, they'll never know it's bothered me. Never know.
Mm-hmm.
Unless obviously I've really had to say something, which is very few and far between. But the majority of the time when I see something, I think, you mother. I don't respond to it. I just go, shit, you got me.
I'll tell you a really good example, actually, but it ended in a positive, was when I put out a video and there was this furore in the comments about how I'd ripped off this woman because I apparently I counted how many of her books there were.
I remember that was about a year ago, wasn't it?
And anyway, and people were like, yeah, he's such a this, he cons people, he rips people off. And I got annoyed about it because it was like, my character they were bringing into it, right?
I think you were more upset than annoyed. to be
Yeah,
honest.
and I thought, you know what? I'm going to turn this feeling I have into a video and make a video response and read out all the comments. And that video did so well, and
That's the best way to do it. Make
that
a
made
video.
me happy. I turned this thing that
yeah.
really could get to me.
Yeah.
And I thought, normally I won't rise to it, but I would like to have my say. No, I didn't count her books. No, I didn't rip her off. I gave her a price for a bag of books. Well, get over yourselves.
Yeah.
And then the video did really well. So
But
it was
you have
like,
a right to reply as well.
yeah, but most of the time I don't reply at all.
Yeah, and you don't have to be, arsy
But
about
one
it.
of my favourite things to do at the minute is to turn negative comments into a meme. Like I will literally rinse it. Like that geezer with the lift comment. I don't know. I went on with that for about a month and a half. I've even made stickers. I'm going to give some stickers away eventually. In fact, I'll pick one of these guys in the chat later on, actually, if they want one. But if I get a negative comment now, I'll make a video, but I'll make that part a meme. Does that make sense? Like this guy said a 5-minute video and he spent 3.5 minutes in the lift. Number one, it was 22 seconds. But you better believe for the next month, I had this comment pinned and I was going up and down the lifts nice and slowly or making stuff. I like to make videos on it and just go, there you go, mate. You've had your limelight. Not make a video and go, you mother, how dare you? I like to just meme it, like make something out of it.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for the next one now. Nobody's given me a good enough comment yet, so feel free to try and get that one.
I have ideas like that, and then I never follow through, and I should do. The only one that I did that I really enjoyed making was the when six-figure seller became a thing. I went around the house with these figures. I hid them everywhere or something. One figure and a 1-2 action figures. And at the end, I went, I'm a six-figure seller. But I usually have the idea, chuckle at myself, and never make it. But I should
do it. Just do it. Act upon that impulse, Nick, because sometimes it's one of your best performing videos you'll do.
I know.
It's true.
And also, you just, it cheers you up as well.
Cheers me.
Yeah, you release out of it. Chris B loves the lift action, bless him.
Chris B. Yeah, love it.
He's always asking for more.
Another genuine friend we made out of reselling, right? There's perks to doing YouTube.
Yeah.
Did you want to ask the last question? Or?
That was kind of it, wasn't it? What the advice you'd give to someone?
Okay. I suppose we'd better do words of wisdom.
Yeah, we've
this words of wisdom
on a Sunday has evolved into we hand it over to the chat at the end to drop in some words of wisdom. We'll read out a bunch, and you can pick whatever you want to leave us on. So pop your words of wisdom in, and we'll read some out.
We'll start with Cliff here because he's put this in 3 times now. Nick, it's not crap everywhere. It's quality merchandise in your listing queue.
Of course,
there you go. It's all about rewording things sometimes, isn't it?
Yes. I need that on a t-shirt. It's quality merchandise.
Yeah.
In fact, I think we did that on. Didn't we have a t-shirt with that on? And on what some of our links once.
And didn't Carla make up #Qual merch or something?
Qual merch. Yeah. Carla is such a fanboy of yours. Did you know that?
Carla was. I said this to her recently. I think it was in a live stream. She was one of my biggest supporters to push me over to the monetization side of YouTube. She was like, "I know what it's like to be YouTubing. Be nice if you get a drink out of it. Let's get this man across that line." And she was really supportive. I think she wanted to see me with my top off a few times, but she definitely showed her support. Bless her. Love Carla.
Yeah.
There's a few people at the beginning I'll always have like. I'll always remember for. Does that make sense? And Carla was definitely one of them.
Yeah, definitely. She loves the bones of you. I tell her. We spent a lot of time with Carla, and your name comes up. Let's put it that way.
Thank you for her a fanboy,
though. You know what I mean.
Whatever. I love you, Carla.
So Chris G is in first with the wows. Always time how long you take it.
Yeah, it became a bit of a meme.
Paul Rose says, at the end of the day, it gets dark.
Beautiful.
Well,
yeah, I like
says
that.
It all, really.
Drink more beer, says Harvey.
Cheers.
Jack says, don't sit behind a pillar at your reseller's friend's wedding because it'll stick with you for years.
Jess put me behind a fucking big plank of wood, so my whole view of Jess's wedding was like this.
Oh, no.
Oh, you do you? Okay, that's good. No objections. Sound.
It's what you know and who you know. That's what gets you where you want to go.
Yes, Tommy.
Nice.
It's not a death pile, it's a listing queue.
It's a listing queue. Oh,
I refuse to use the word death pile. I think stock. I mean, when Tesco's got stock out the back ready to go on the shelves, they don't call that death pile, do they? They just call it stock ready to go.
yeah.
It's just stock. It just hasn't gone on yet. I think we've kind of gave it this negative connotation. It's a death pile. It's just stock. Yeah, we might have bought it 4 years ago and we probably could have listed it before now, but it's still just stock. Right?
Well, in COVID, we called it a lifeline. That's what
it became a lifeline. I see a lot of people going, there's my death pile. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Yeah.
Tamara says, nothing matters very much. Very little matters at all.
I think there's a little, message in there. I like that.
I'll lead on with the lift comments again.
Yeah, I literally. I mean, I don't expect you to have seen them all, but I think I've turned that lift joke into a meme over the next 6 videos after that comment.
Wow.
I went as far as making stickers and all sorts. So anybody
a lift goes up and down, you can get in and you can get out when you want.
Yes.
Yes. Going back to the whole YouTube thing, you can't take yourself seriously with this. And there have been a few channels over the years that really did take themselves a little bit too seriously. And I think people can sniff that out. You have to, we're just selling secondhand crap on the internet. And there's nothing.
What I keep saying.
Right?
Yeah. We sell car boot stuff or whatever stuff secondhand.
Yeah.
That's what we do. We're not fucking I did it. We're not superstars. We just happen to have gained an audience from doing what we do.
Exactly. Right.
Tina says, no matter how long you've traveled in the wrong direction, you can always turn around.
Deep.
And El Revent says, YouTube commenters are just people. eBay buyers are just people. Resellers are just people. Good and bad. Everyone is just people.
World of Warcraft.
Like it.
World of Warcraft. As much as your eBay life might be stressful, that sale might have just made someone's day. Oh. That is so true. I really like that.
There's nothing better than that eBay message. The message sound comes up and you go, oh, here we go. And then it's someone saying how wonderful the item was. They've always been after one of those, or how you made their day. I love that.
I get the sentiment behind that, but I'm also like, just leave it in the feedback then, please. No need to give me the heart attack first. Just put it in the feedback.
Lainey says, don't worry about failure. You only have to be right once.
I'll take that.
Yeah.
Samantha says, we are not what we know, but what we are willing to learn.
These are good.
They are good.
Go away, not you.
Okay. Oh, Andrew's got one here. There's always a community there to support you when you need it the most. Have you got a favourite?
What, out of the chat?
Yeah.
I can't remember them all.
Well, shall we pick one?
Yeah, let's pick one.
Oh yeah, TK.
Wait, in fact, let me give you a side profile. I can read the chat when I do this, because I've got the phone here and the laptop here.
Okay, I'll read another couple while you're having a look. TK says most people have trouble talking when they have
That's the one I've just read, and that's the one that just stuck out to me.
Yeah, though it rarely stops them.
Let me highlight that one then. There we go.
I like that. I do like that. Sometimes you just need. I'll give you one of my words of wisdom. Sometimes you can, and you just need to log off. There you go. Yeah, I like TK's one. The same principle. Some people just talk when they've got nothing to say, but it doesn't stop them. They just carry on talking.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all know someone like that, don't we? We all have someone like that in our lives, or a few.
Funniest thing is, we all know someone like that, and sometimes to other people, we are that person, and that's what stops you from being so serious. That's what grounds you a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
What you see somebody else as, they probably see you as that, or someone does. Someone does. The annoying person, the lively person, the shy person, the over eccentric person. You can be all of those people to many different people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And once you realise not everyone's supposed to like you and get on with you, that yes, oh, that blows my mind.
Yeah. Well, I saw a meme or whatever somewhere that it said you're not everyone's cup of tea. That's because you're a glass of champagne.
Well, that was I mean, champagne's absolutely dreadful, but I get the sentiment.
I sent that to my daughter because I thought she'd appreciate that one.
Yeah, and that's it.
Well, believe it or not, we've been chatting for an hour and 10 minutes. Thank you for the chat with all your words of wisdom. We appreciate that. And thanks to Ricky for being a guest.
Thank you.
I think we did well for an hour's ramble there. That was good.
You weren't worried about us plugging your channel, but we have put your links below.
Yes.
Yeah, what I meant by that was I wasn't going to sit there and go, don't forget to subscribe to Ricky Resells or anything like that. Just like, you know, I've come to talk.
If you don't already follow Ricky, then the links are below.
Yeah, we've put your social links below. So go over and check Ricky's channel out. I can genuinely recommend it. I love your attitude in your videos. Yeah. And I don't watch many reselling videos anymore. Just don't have the time. So it just remains for us to thank Ricky again for being here with us. We'll do this again sometime. And are we back next week?
I think we are.
I think we are. All right.
Don't know who we're chatting to. We haven't asked anybody.
All right, Oliver Jazzle of a show. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. That was cool.
It's been a genuine pleasure. Cheers.
Thank you. Cheers, Nick. I'm going to leave this bit. Do we stay behind or do we just leave?
Yeah. Stay behind and we'll.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Bye.
Thank you.